Testing 1, 2, 3. Those are so freaking tapped. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to take a moment today and go through the medications and supplements I'm on. And I'm going to start this video by saying it is in no way sponsored, paid. I don't get any kind of recognition or money from anybody to say anything about any doctor, any clinic, any medication. I also want to say I am not a doctor. I cannot tell you that you should or should not take something. I cannot tell you if you're taking too little or too much. I can certainly entertain questions if you want to know how I changed up dosing or how I decided to take a specific supplement or particular drug medication. But I don't want anyone to get the idea that I'm some sort of expert. This is simply what I do for my life at the current moment, and it's what works for me. I want to start off by saying that I am a patient at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center in Katy, Texas, which is just outside of Houston. I've been a patient there since 2006. My doctor is actually Dr. Sheridan. There's a couple of things to note about the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, and I'm going to link their website down below. But one of the number one things is that their website is very informative, and it will go into understanding a patient more from a symptomatic level. And I'm going to talk more about the Hotze Health and Wellness Center when I talk a little bit more about the resources that helped me. But one of the things I appreciate about Dr. Sheridan and the entire practice is that, of course, we do lab work. Of course, we look at medical records and take those into account. But he also listens to me, and he listens to how I'm feeling. And we make adjustments based on that. The second thing I want to say about that particular practice is that they have a terrific phone nurse support program. So every time you have a problem and you call or you log on and you send a question to the website, they don't tell you to come in and see the doctor. The nurses speak with you, take down your information, they go back to the doctor, they consult him or her, and come back to you with a lot of recommendations. So it really does save some time and effort when all you really need is a little bit of tweaking or some changes that are happening. The third thing I want to say about the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, which is kind of the downside, is that they do not process insurance. They do not code for insurance. They don't mess with any of it. So if you go to see them, you have to know that it is a very large out-of-pocket expense, and it is expensive. And I'm very fortunate and blessed to have the resources in my life to be able to go to this particular clinic, but I understand that not everyone has that. So I also want to point that out. I'm happy to share if anybody wants to contact me directly with some of the expenses I've gone through, but I do want to put that out there. So one of the things that Dr. Sheridan has me doing is a course of several hormones. Now, the first reason I went to see him, and you can see this in some of my other videos, is I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis in 1989, which is an autoimmune condition where your body produces antibodies against your thyroid hormone. Now, there's a whole bunch of research on the web that you can go find out about the hypopituitary axis and how your, thyroid produces thyroid hormone in response to what your pituitary is signaling, and a lot of interrelated medical things that I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to. I kind of know, but I kind of don't. So because I was having so many challenges on the kinds of medications I had been on before for my thyroid problem, I started going to the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. And one of the things that Dr. Sheridan prescribed for me is a compounded thyroid. I get it from the pharmacy there. We are welcome to take our prescriptions that we get from Hotze to any compounding pharmacy, but he has one on site that is related to his practice that I use. It's just simpler for me. So I take a compounded thyroid. Right now I'm on 4.25 grains a day, and that seems like a lot, but it's really quite perfect for me. I take one 3 grain and one 1.25 grain, and the 1.25 grain right now is kind of a support. I've done really well on 3 and 4 grains, depending upon my life circumstances, what's going on. But the 1.25 grains we added probably back in October as kind of a support mechanism for my adrenals. I've been diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. It's not something that a lot of doctors recognize, but because when you get into adrenal function, there's a couple of different things on either end of the spectrum, but the in between, when your adrenals are not functioning well, is not really recognized by a lot of doctors. But the Hotze Health and Wellness Center recognizes it. So I am also on a low dose of a compounded hydrocortisone called cortisol. I actually take 7.5 milligrams a day. It's to help support the adrenals and help them heal. And because adrenals and thyroid are very closely related as part of a lot of the hormonal connections, that is one of the things that we've opted to do in conjunction with the 1.25 grains. So I'm healing my adrenals and I'm supporting my thyroid, and they kind of walk hand in hand together. I also take a low dose of testosterone, 2 milligrams. When I first started going to the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, I was very estrogen dominant from lots and lots of years of birth control to help control PMS. So the testosterone is helping to balance that out. In addition, I take progesterone. The progesterone is also helping to balance out my estrogen dominance, but it also is prescribed to help with the PMS symptoms that I have. Right now, I take 100 milligrams of progesterone at night on days 15 through 28, and then I take another 50 milligrams in the mornings on days 15 through 28. Now that might seem like a lot of hormones and a lot of medications, but for me it's what works, and I'm very happy with that. I would like to scale back on some of it, but I don't know how soon that's going to be able to happen. So I want to talk a little bit about the supplements that I take on top of the medications that I take. I take a probiotic every day. I have some digestive issues, the best way I can say it. There's a lot of things I can't eat, fried foods, anything with added fiber like inulin and chicory root. So the probiotic helps with that. I also take magnesium citrate during the day. It helps with that as well, and it's very calming, so yay for that. I take vitamin D3. There's a lot of controversy about whether or not we should supplement with that, but that's what my doctor and I have decided on. So I do take about 4,000 IU every day. I take a multivitamin for women. I take omega-3 fish oil. I take a D-mannose supplement with cranactin to help with UTIs. I find that my particular UTI symptoms tend to be exacerbated when I don't eat and drink the right things, particularly drinking anything with aspartame, however you say that, or any artificial sweeteners, so I stay away from those. But the D-mannose helps with that as well. I take a magnesium glycinate at night. It's also calming, but it doesn't have the same effect on digestion, so I'm able to sleep better at night without some tummy troubles. I take vitamin C. Vitamin C is recommended for hormone support, so I do take 2,000 milligrams every day. Obviously, I also would take it for its powers related to immune. It's not helping this week. Obviously, I caught a cold, but I haven't been sick in quite some time. I take a selenium supplement. It's also designed to help support hormones, and I take zinc with copper. Both of those, again, are recommended for anyone with Hashimoto's. I shouldn't say anyone. It recommended to some people with thyroid problems, helping with conversion of hormones. I take biotin. I think once I became more optimal with thyroid medicines, the biotin really helped with hair and nails. And I also take an iron supplement every day. It's a gentle iron, so hopefully it's not affecting my digestive system too much. But those of us with adrenal issues and thyroid problems sometimes have iron and ferritin issues as well, so I'm trying to bring that up. I take a shortened, I can't remember the full name of it, but I take a B supplement that's a methyl B. It's supposed to be the kind of B vitamin that can be absorbed by people who even have any gene mutation that may prevent the B vitamins from being absorbed correctly. I don't have the gene mutation, but it's fine. It's a perfectly great B vitamin. It has multiple types of B12 and B6 in it, and it dissolves under my tongue. So that's a little bit about what I take every day. Some of it I take in the morning, some of it I take at lunch, and some of it I take before bed, and it's a pretty hefty little pill container. I actually have a 7-day of the week pill thing like this. So my AM pills, my PM pills are actually my midday, and then I have something separate that sits in my nightstand. I also have reminders on my calendar 3 times a day so that I remember to take these. Most of everything I take with food or make sure I have food in my stomach. The exception is in the morning when I take all of my actual hormones like progesterone, testosterone, cortisol, and thyroid. I take all of those first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. My doctor tells me that food or no food is not really a big deal, but it's just the way that my particular day is organized. It works better for me. So if you have any questions about anything I'm taking, let me know, comment, or send me an email. I will be doing a video in the next couple of weeks about resources that have really helped me with regard to my thyroid and Hashimoto's, and I'm talking a little bit more about some books and some websites and some Facebook groups that have really helped me out and have pointed me to some of the supplements that I take that you may find interesting. So thanks for watching and have a good day.